Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of East Coast Bass Fishing. What I want to talk about today is Texas rig and how to rig it. First off, you want to, personal preference for myself is I always like to use what this is called is a bobber stopper. You got different colors. You got the black, red, and yellow. And what I like to do is I like to put this on the line first, then follow my bullet weight. Any hook of choice, which this is a Gamakatsu's offset round bend. I believe it's the number 2. And then any soft plastic of choice, whether it's a Zoom Black trick worm, it's a crawl, a tube, anything of choice. So actually I got a hook tied up here, weightless, that I was using a Senko on, but I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. Give a demonstration of how it's supposed to be done properly, or the way you like to do it. A lot of people don't use bobber stoppers, but I do, so let's go with a red one so you can see. What you do is, see this little loop there, I don't know if you can see it. Take your line, you go through that loop. Like so. Grab it, and pull it straight off. As you can see, you got your bobber stopper there. Pull it down some, give yourself some leeway. Feed on your bullet weight. And the bullet weight, you get the size that you need. I guess if you want to fish deep, use a heavier weight. I'm not really fishing too deep when I'm using this Texas rig style, so I use like I want to say it's like a 3/8 ounce. There you go. Got your weight on. As you can see, slides back and forth. Alright. Then you go with your hook. Like so. And me, it's tied on. I just do about 5 or 6 twists. And you want to make sure you wet your line pretty good so it doesn't break when you cinch it down. You see that? It's nice and tight. You got your tag in here, you want to clip that off. Not too far, but just enough now. Then at this point you can take your bobber stopper and slide it down to the desired point. Myself, I like to keep it pretty close to the hook because I want that lure to stay on the bottom as long as possible. As you can see, there's maybe ½ an inch space in between the actual hook and the bobber stopper. I'm going to slide back up and give you a demonstration of how I rig up soft plastic. This is a Rage Tail, which I just broke a little arm off. Rage Tail space mount. Try them out, they work fabulous. Go through the head. Or actually, go through the head and come out the bottom. Like this. Back out. And as you bring the hook through, move this line out the way, you want to twist like that down. Once you twist, you kind of want to see where the hook is going to end up. So right about here, this will be a little bend. In and back out, like so. Alright. Once you got it like that, you can make it weedless. That way you won't get hooked up on sticks and stumps and logs. And this is your typical Texas rig. Actually, this is on fluorocarbon. Myself personally, I like to use braid. I use 40-pound Power Pro braid. The water clarity around here is muddy and murky, so I don't really worry about the fish getting spooked by the line, and if they're hungry enough, they're gonna bite it. So, but if you prefer fluorocarbon or monofilament, I prefer not going to monofilament, which I did for a long time. I used monofilament and I lost a lot of fish that way. But since I've been using braid and fluorocarbon, I haven't lost a fish yet. So I would strongly suggest that you use maybe 10 to 15 pound fluorocarbon or whatever pound preference in braid. I like 40 pound. It doesn't break. Braid is very durable and it lasts for a long time. So that's the Space Monkey braid with a broken arm over here. Let's take this off, and I'll show you the very first lure I used bass fishing. On my very first day bass fishing, I caught a 5.5 pound bass on this very lure here, the Zoom Black Trick Worm. And to this day, sometimes when I just can't get a bite, this is my go-to lure. I use it all the time. Same technique, through the head, back out, down, bend that hook, twist, take your lure, put a little bend in it, in, back out, and there it is. And you want to make it weedless. Keep that one straight. So when that fish comes and bites, it pops back out like that. Works every time. Just keep that weight close to that lure. Keep it on the bottom. It's a good technique for the winter, of course. Given that it's cold outside, the water temperature is low, and so down in the bottom, in the deeper parts of the water is warmer to the fish, and vice versa. In the summertime, the water is cool at the bottom. So you want to use Texas rig techniques in situations like that. So this is just a little tutorial, just a little tip on how to Texas rig. There you go. Barber stopper with a weight. Gamakatsu's offset round bend.